Welcome to another after-action report from the mid-tiers. In this battle, I'm playing the Black Fushun, which is one of the most powerful destroyers at tier 6. And we're just loading a battle. You can already see we'll be playing Scorching Islands, and I cheated a little bit by showing my starting position and my intended course. And I'll just pause here for a little bit. No, actually, we have time. So I'm just quickly looking at the lineup. You can see we have like 10 seconds, 15 seconds to look at it. And right off the bat, we look like we're a little bit weak. We have one two-man division versus two-man division on the other team. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Battle starts, and I just immediately go fast, like accelerate to maximum speed, going forward, seeking out contact with the enemy team. I'm checking the composition again. See, they have 3 destroyers, 1 cruiser, and 3 battleships. Changing to armor piercing because, well, generally speaking, most destroyers are actually doing best with AP versus other destroyers, at least at this tier, and definitely for the Fushun has very powerful guns. So I'm changing to AP just to prepare for the engagement. I set my torpedo angle to narrow and just searching, and I see a ship there. Looking at the silhouette, that's the Ismail. He's not in a division. So, and then we have the Vestos. He's coming up. We have Ismail coming this way. We have Vestos coming this way. And we also have a Akatsuki here that I just noticed. And I engage my rapid reload and trying to gun him down. Akatsuki missed his 3 first salvos, and he's just trying to kind of dodge. We keep going like parallel here while I'm trying to dodge in and out a little bit. You can see on my 6th sense that I'm being targeted by 3 guys, so that means the battleship is also on me, so trying to duck under his shells, and I see Vestos managed to get some torpedoes off, and he hit with one of them. And at this point I'm pretty low on health, so I'm just trying to get out, dumping my torpedoes without aiming too much, and just basically booking it back towards base. You can see the Vestos, he died. Sorry, the Vestos, he died here. He's gone. Ismail came down this way. Akatsuki is also going back. And I'm just going to pause the video here because it's a significant point in the battle. I did not realize that actually 4 other guys came with me in this direction. So we have now 5 ships here, and then we have the 2-man division of battleships. They are sitting in the cap. And what do we see on the minimap? We actually have a pretty hard push from the enemy team in this direction, and I can see on the minimap right away. Oh, and the Algeria is coming this way. So we have the 2-man division in Dunkirk coming south, pushing hard on our base, assisted by the Algeria. And I'm not aware of it at this time, but they actually have the remaining destroyer with them as well. So I just see that there's a threat toward our base, and I immediately disengage from this fight. I was just going back here, and I will be going back in this direction because I think that our 2 battleships versus this group that's going to be a mess, and there's a big risk that our group of 5 ships will simply get stuck out here on the sideline and unable to do anything. So I'm rushing back, and we have one of the battleships, he's requesting help, and I'm also requesting help in a moment, hoping that these guys actually realize what's going on. So Akatsuki, he's going this way around, and Ismail, he's just going in this direction. He's not really gonna have much effect, even if he decides to turn around. Turning a battleship around like that 360 degrees, it basically takes like 1 to 1.5 minutes of game time. And you have to remember we have like 7 minutes here, so that's a significant amount of time. He's basically out of the game for now, so I can ignore him. And rushing in, we now spot the Fubuki up here by the island. So he's here. And just trying to take pot shots. We have the 2 Dunkirks coming in this direction, and I'm just popping off my torpedoes, hoping that the lead one will be cocky enough to not try to dodge anything, because they already think they won. So I'm just I'm just taking a pot shot so I can quickly reload again. I'm not firing my guns, and that will turn out later to be a good idea, because I can go into the cab, and for like this guy, he will die now. So that's the first Dunkirk gentleman. He died, and I'm detected, and I'm also targeted, but now I'm undetected. Even though I'm really close to the Dunkirk and directly assisting my battleships, I'm undetected. Of course I will not remain undetected, because I'm charging right at the Dunkirk now. Al-Shari, he's out here somewhere, just headed for the edge of the map. And here's the Fubuki. I'm already targeted and spotted, and I know because I'm rushing the Dunkirk, so... And he's actually going backward. I noticed that earlier, that there was no bow wave on his ship. You can see the bow wave on the Akatsuki here. There was no bow wave on the Dunkirk. So Akatsuki dumping his torpedoes while I gun him down, or try to gun him down. He's going to go around this island here. I just quickly take a top dump at the Dunkirk. Frankly, amazed that he didn't shoot me yet. He opted instead to finish one of our cruisers over here in the corner, which over the flank here, which I actually kind of understand. Sometimes better to just finish an opponent off, as you can also see that I'm trying to do with the Fubuki. I managed to get a shell in, and there's a lot going on right now, so let me just pause the game. So basically, I managed to nail the Fubuki over here on the edge, but well, at this point in time, it looks like the price was my own ship, because I have like just under 1,000 hit points left, and I'm in a really dangerous situation, because the enemy Dunkirk, he went backwards to around here, and Al-Shari, he's turning around, and he's here, and I came around here and turned this way, and I'm just sandwiched between between these two guys. But the good thing is that I'm sterning in on the Al-Shari, as you can see up here. I'm sterning in on him, so that means I have I'm bowing in on him, so that means I have the stern toward the Dunkirk. So I'm presenting a very small target, but the problem is I have so little health left. The Al-Shari, he basically just needs to land one shell out of his salvo or use torpedoes. He has 2 sets of torpedoes on each side, and the way I'm moving toward him, it will, if he dumped them at close range, even though the Fushun is a very agile ship, it's going to be really hard for me to avoid, while at the same time dodging shells. And there's no doubt there's an element of luck in play here as well. Like there's the enemy dispersion and whether they can read my intentions right and so on. But I'm basically charging at the Al-Shari. I have 5 seconds left on my cooldown for my repair kit, and just hoping to live those 5 seconds. And the idea is that I'm trying to pass close by and behind him in order to move faster than his turrets can track me, hopefully, and then we'll just have to see how it goes. We have some guys that came back. So one of our battleships down here, he's gone, he died. But we do have the Fuso coming in here now, so that's good. And well, the flanking guys that went up here, the 2 of them are actually approaching the enemy base, but at this point that's not on my mind at all. I'm just trying to survive. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Amazingly, Al-Shari just does a tiny bit of damage with his salvo, but now they basically just need to scratch their ass or something like that, sneeze maybe, and my ship will pop. I'm just cutting it really close by the Al-Shari, and he's going this way. I'm going this way. My smoke becomes available, so I pop that, and I'm just trying to get away. I managed to bump my health up to nearly 3k, so I can take a little bit more damage. The thing is now that I'm actually hitting the edge of the map, but I am also right at the edge of my concealment, and there we go. He is moving out of my concealment range, so now I have again a little bit more free room to play. And I move up here, and at this point there's only the New Mexico left, and I'm gonna cut it close, not close, but not too close behind him, to get some torpedoes into the Al-Shari. I'm not willing to shoot at him because I am close to dying, and I'm just at this point I think it would be nice to simply survive the game. So we're going for torpedoes. He's dodging quite a bit, And you can actually see up here on the minimap, in the small minimap up on the top, that our guys managed to get into the enemy base. So it's just the Algeria left. It's the end game going here. And I'm moving up here north. And eventually, it was my plan eventually to pop a salvo into him for the extra damage. You can see that I'm changing to high explosive, but it doesn't really matter that much. The game is over. And yeah, we basically take the enemy base. So amazingly, our wide flank push worked, which I hadn't expected. It wasn't really on my radar, but it did work, and we managed to defeat their push. And I managed to secure the MVP, which is always nice, and not die, which is also nice. So we can just take a quick look at the scores. I know our New Mexico, he did really good. It turns out we had a lot of dead weight on our team, but fortunately the other team also had, so that's good. An example is the Fubuki here, who took part in the wide flank. His greatest contribution was probably that he didn't die, and of course they did actually take the enemy cap, even though it didn't matter because the Algeria would have been gone quickly anyway. But apart from that, you can see on our team it's basically mainly me and the guy in New Mexico dealing all the damage, and the rest of the guys don't really manage all that much. Fortunately, it's the same for the enemy team. So there's the Vestors I engaged in the beginning. He hardly managed any damage, so he had no influence on the game, basically. Ismail survived a little bit longer and amazingly managed only to deal just under 6,000 damage, but it happens. So it's tier 6, and this kind of thing happens frequently. So most of the other guys, they do get above 20k, but it's not exactly impressive. So we got a little bit lucky with that. I like to think that I managed to draw a lot of fire and dodge a lot of fire down in our cap, so maybe that was the reason that the Dunkirks didn't manage to do all that much damage. So yeah, no doubt there was an element of luck in the game for me, but as someone famous once said, the funny thing is, the more I train, the luckier I get, and I think that was definitely a factor in this game as well. So yeah, I hope you liked the video and that got you thinking a little bit about how you can improve your own gameplay. And I will be making some more videos in the near future.